This is lesson 22, division with and without remainders. So when I do my division algorithm, and we're going to get to this in the next lesson or two, but I always say divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. These problems are pretty simple as we get used to division. And you're probably, I know you've had it in 4th grade, but let's go ahead and check out some of these problems. So what I want to know here, 5 goes into 35 how many times? So remember my fact families. 5 times something equals 35. So I know that it's 7, right? So I can go ahead and write my 7 here. So I've divided. Now I'm going to multiply. 7 times 5 is 35. Now I'm going to subtract. Now I'm going to check. Is 0 less than 5? Yes. And if I had any more, I could bring it down, but I don't have any remainders, so my answer is just 7. Okay, so what they're really asking you, let's do this one. 5 goes into 16, 16 divided by 5. What they're saying is how many groups of 5 can I have that gets close to 16 but not more than 16? So I know in this one I'm going to have a remainder because remember 5, the multiples of 5 end in 5 or 0. Well, that does not. So there's going to be a remainder. So 5 times 1, I'd have a bunch left over. 5 times 2, 5 times 3. Okay, so let's try that. Divide, so I divided. I'm going to say, oh, I think I can get 3 groups of 5. And out of 16, I don't know, Skittles. So I divided. Now I'm going to multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. Now I'm going to subtract. I'm going to check. Is 1 less than 5? Yes. So I know I'm finished. So 3 with a remainder of 1. Okay, well, that's pretty easy, right? Okay. Let's look at example 1 again. 50 trading cards are to be placed in protective pages. Each page can display 8 cards. How many pages can be filled? What is the least number of pages that is needed to protect all the cards? Okay, how many groups, how many are in each group, and what's the total? I'm going to go back to that. Again, you can make whatever abbreviations you want. Those are going to be mine, and I'll always read them out loud. So how many groups, how many are in each group, and what's the total? So they want to know how many pages I need, how many groups. You can put 8 pictures on each page, and I have a total of 50 pictures. So my problem is set up. 50 divided by 8 is going to give me this, right? The number of pages I need. Okay, so now I'm going to use my division box. Will 8 go into 5? No. Will 8 go into 50? Yes. So 8 times what is kind of close to 50? You can use your multiplication chart if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and know that it's 6. So I divided. Now I'm going to multiply. 6 times 8 is 48. I'm going to subtract. I'm going to check. Is 2 less than 8? Yes. So that's my remainder. I don't have any more to bring down. So remainder 2. So what does that tell us? It tells us that I could get 6 pages, but I'd have 2 pictures left over. So I got to use 7 pages, even though that 7th page won't be all the way filled up, right? I can fill up 6 pages, and then I have that 7th with only 2 pictures on it. Sometimes when you're doing these word problems, it's hard to think about, oh, what does that answer really mean? So that's the trick to example 1 and those kinds of problems is, oh, I'm not finished yet. So think those kind through. Think about what that's telling you. Example 2 says at an amusement park, 16 people are waiting in line for a water ride. Each boat holds 6 people. Okay, how many groups, how many boats, how many in each boat or in each group? 6. How many people do I have altogether? 16. So I know I'm going to set my problem up. 16 divided by 6. Okay, so I know that's only 2. I'm going to multiply. Subtract, check. 4 less than 6, yes. Remainder 4. Okay, so I'm going to have, what does that tell me? Tells me that I have 16 people, right? So I think I've got 2 boats, and I know I can fill those up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why that person sat on the side, but they did. So that's 12 people, but I have some more people, don't I? I have 16. I got to get another boat, like in Jaws. We need a bigger boat. So now let's count. Do we fill up? Do we get everybody in a boat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so how many boats do I need? 3, right? That one's not all the way full. So that's how you figure out those answers. It might be helpful if you labeled these like boats, people per boat, total people or something, to help you think it through. Again, you don't have to, but that's the tricky part with word problems, is knowing, yeah, you can do the division, but what does it mean? So that's that part. Okay, example 3 says, without dividing, decide which 2 division problems below will have a remainder. Okay, so looking at the chart, can you see that? On page 141. This is so we're skip counting, or we're getting multiples of 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, whatever. 5s, 10s, right? So 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3. So it's like a little mini multiplication chart, except for they only did some of them. So what do all of these top numbers in the 2s row have in common? They're all even, right? What the 5s? A 5 or a 0, a 5 or a 0, a 5 or a 0. And the 10s, they all end in 0, right? So if your divisor is 2 and your dividend is even, there won't be a remainder. If your divisor is 5 and your dividend ends in 5 or 0, there won't be a remainder. If your divisor is 10 and your dividend ends in a 0, no remainder. Okay, so you have a divisor. Remember, it's the one knocking on the door. The divised door is knocking on that door. The divisor is 2. So we're checking to see if that's even. Yes. So will there be a remainder? No remainder. Okay, what about that 2? That's D, so I'm skipping a little bit. Is that an even number? No. So yes, remainder. What about 5? Remember, it has to end in 5 or a 0 for no remainder. It ends in a 0, so no remainder. And 10 has to end in 0, does it? No. So yes, remainder. Makes sense? There's a whole divisibility chart that's helpful, and we'll figure out the 3s and the 4s and the 6s and the 9s and all that stuff a little bit later. But sometimes it's just so helpful to know whether you're going to have a remainder or not as you move along in long division. So that is lesson 22. Good luck. Show your work.